All right, so we're back at the shop today, and our bolts come in from Dodge. So we have our serpentine belt back on here now. And like I said, this is with the pedestal and everything, and you know, so that's kind of what's going on with the motor. Kind of cleaned the engine bay a little bit earlier. So sorry for not filming, my bad. We had these trim rings here that our buddy Matt made for us, but they're actually a little too big for the bumper. What's up, James?
So what I'm doing here today is I am making these rings to go around the exhaust on the bumper. So we don't have a lathe, but I have a contraption. So I have this idea is I'm gonna file this thing while it spins, and it's gonna make another one of those. And it works. Very sketchy. Don't do this at home.
Woo!
That's hot.
So were these your OSHA approved shoes you wore to work today, or what?
Yeah.
The whole outfit is OSHA approved. So back to exhaust. You know, we kind of wanted to run some stuff out the back, but it's just really not going to work out. So we're going to go back out the bumper. Plus, we like it out the bumper, don't we, Mike? This is where our little ring things came out like, and we're going to drill some holes in them and then rivet these beasts in.
I'll turn it back now.
I mean, I love this color. This color is so sick. What a beast. I know some people were talking about us running them out of the fog lights. I took a piece of pipe, just like playing around to see what it would look like if we had something like that, and well, you get the idea. I don't like it, so I know it would be bigger, but it's not that cool. There's one, so this get an idea what we'll have it like here. Okay, so we got one ring on this side, another ring on this side. Now we got to cut out the back. Fun stuff. Okay, got one hole here, one hole here. Mike, you want to stick it on the car? Wow. No, wrong car.
That's the only car that these guys care about. They don't want to see this thing.
Oh yeah. Those look good. Close enough.
The piece that mounts the oil cooler has little taps, so we have to cut holes in this metal piece of the bumper. And actually is little guide pins that holds it on. I mean, we put nuts and bolts in it too, but nifty.
These look good. So as you can see, we got it back together. Going for exhaust tomorrow. I know so we talked about possibly changing the intake or whatever, but we like this intake. We thought about it. We were almost like, you know what, we're just running it down in the hood and stuff, but this intake right here really kind of makes the car like, it's, you know, it's been part of the build. I really like the design of it. Mike likes the design of it. If any of you guys haven't seen this before, you know, the guy who makes this is a company called Legmaker Intakes, and he used to make prosthetics. He designed this, and so it's actually, it's like part of a leg. That's why it's called the Legmaker. And I really like it, so we all like it. So tomorrow we'll have some exhaust coming out of these nice holes.
Can we get some Hello Kitty tips?
Right here. No, we're not getting any Hello Kitty tips. As much as some people might want it, not gonna happen. Tell you what, this car sure come out nice.
It's already nice.
Yeah.
It's done, it's ready to go.
It's decent.
It's the fastest Miata on YouTube.
Is it? Oh yeah, you're right, it is. But not by track times. Chris, well, there's a lot of fastest Miatas on there YouTube.
Hey,
yeah.
Tag us in the videos. Hey, comment on the video if you know any faster Miatas.
Okay.
Tag the owner.
Yeah, tag, and then everybody's gonna tag Mr. Matman and Turtle.
Oh.
Anyways, So we're gonna get out of here. We got an appointment with the exhaust place tomorrow morning to get something done, 8 o'clock in the morning. And so we're gonna leave a little earlier. It's only like, it's not even midnight yet today, so it's 11. Yeah, so it's not so bad. But that's it. So we will continue this tomorrow. So this is what we're getting done up here. As you guys can see, this is mock-up. So we got a muffler back there. That's a Dyno Max. They run the Hellcats. Pretty cool.
John S. Oh yeah.
Yeah, everything's hooked up.
The next day.
So, messing with the car last night, and when we were messing with the car, we noticed that when we had the car jacked up, and we figured we're just looking some things over. Decided to look at the diff. Well, a while back, we did a burnout whenever Chris and Roberto come up here to visit. I was going to blow the tires off the car. Well, on the driver's side, the wheel had stopped spinning. I was doing a little research on these. So the Ford 8.8's got a track lock differential. Basically, it's very similar to an open differential where it has the 4 spider gears, except it has clutch packs behind 2 of them. From what I can see based off the video, those are worn. Also, I don't know if I can do this since it's just me right here, but if I take the wheel, as you can see, I can spin it. I shouldn't be able to, well, let's see, one's gonna go backwards, the other one's gonna go forward. I shouldn't be able to do this, not that easily. According to the specs, it should take 200 foot-pounds, and some people do the clutches a lot tighter. This is the Terminator 31 spline. We have another diff, which we welded. It's a 28 spline. We still have the half shafts. That's going to be really good for going over to Hoonigan to play around in the burn yard until I can get a carbon clutch pack set in the mail to put into the other diff. Or some Ford dealerships actually stock them, like it's a Ford Motorsports part. But right now, going all the way to California to Hoonigan with a diff that's not putting the power to the ground, that's not going to cut it. So what I'm going to do now is start taking out these axles. Pretty much to drop this, I'm just going to unbolt this back piece here and unbolt the half shafts or quarter shafts, or the inners basically that go into the differential. They have like a ball and what do you call that? Ball and something design, but it's basically like a metal flange. I can't remember what it's called right now, but it's like a metal flange that's got like some cutouts in it, and then the balls go in there. So I'll be able to just take those loose from here I'll bolt the two in the back, and then there's two more that are right up here. Take those off and get this thing out. And like I said, the other one's already welded up anyway, and we'll be able to just throw it in there. See, show you guys these, what they're like. So this, what they got is just little Allen heads right here. The 2 bolts I'll have to remove there, and then the 2 bolts that'll come off here, as well as the 4 bolts on the drive shaft as well too. So, but pretty easy, not a big deal. Don't have to take out the axles or nothing like that, so pretty cool. So I just got some gasket maker, and this is the welded one. This is from a Lincoln Mark 8. It's an 8.8 also, it's just 28 spline, so these are the 28 spline shafts, and those are 31s there, which are still in this, because we're gonna rebuild this one. Alright, I forgot to turn on the camera, but we have it in already with 1 bolt. As you can see here, just gonna finish getting it together. So you see that's the pinion flange, and it's smaller than the one on the Cobra Diff, and so we're going to take it off and swap it out. So what we're doing now is we have the puller on the flange, and we're going to take it off. Oh, my bad, let me hold the wheel here.
Oh, I got it. Yeah, that's already busted loose. Nope, I'm loosening. I was like, man, that wasn't on there that much.
Pretty tight?
Oh yeah.
Damn.
That's it.
What?
That's all I got.
That's all you got?
Yeah. I even broke 1 tooth off.
Oh, really? Well, we'll just get something different. Well, this is being a pain, so we're going to get a different tool.
Get an impact.
Okay, so you can see you got the other one off, and then now I'm working on this one. I got the nut off here, and now I got to put the pulley on this one, and this one here, since it's out of the car. And this is a track lock differential, which has clutches inside here. And so if I were to turn one, you know, the other side would spin because the clutches are worn. And so just used the factory drive shafts and bolts. Had Mike hold the breaker bar. I loosened it, and like I said, now we're going to get the puller, pull this one off, and then I'll transfer it over to the car. So you can see I just got this off, and that's what we're working with here. So now we got to take it and put it back on the car, get it torqued down, and so now as you can see we're all bolted back up, and spin the wheel. We are welded away. Gonna get all the power to the rear now. So whenever we had this diff apart, we looked at the ring gear on it, and it had what was it, 14?
Yeah, 1448, so it should be at 342 if you do the math.
Yeah, because usually your ring gear, your ring and pinion are matching, Now, we did get this out of a Mark 8, and I seen that they had a couple different ones or whatever, but, you know, with the paint marking and stuff that was on the inside, I figured that, you know, they had maybe somebody had changed the gear in it. So what I did is I just threw a little bit of RTV on a spot right here, and just a little mark on the tire right there so I could count it. And if, basically, you know, so say this right here, this little piece of RTV that I put here lined up with this part of the differential, and then that tire. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch this and spin this around, and the tire will go over a couple times. So as I spin this, you'll see that the mark on the tire is moving. And so what I'm going to do is spin it. So now we've had 1 revolution, and we're going to spin it again. And we are at another, well, back up the 2nd revolution. Now we're at a 3rd revolution right here. Well, let's dump it. That's the 3rd revolution. It's almost straight up and down, and then a teeny little bit more, and then there we are, and then that's the mark we got. So, you know, here to here would be like a quarter. That's not quite a quarter, so that's telling me that this thing's, you know, a 3/0 something. So, what I did, well, I know what it is now, but this is, you know, we ended up looking, and this is probably, this should be a 307. We'll look back at the tag that was on the Ford differential. And if you look right here on the Ford diffs, gosh, that thing won't focus. Okay, here we go. These numbers over here on the left side, 307, that's what tells you your axle ratio. And then like some of these other numbers, like this is like the year, month, day, and you know, factory it was made at, and yeah, but these are the numbers we care about, these first 3 right here. So we have a 307 diff. So the gears are going to be a good bit longer now, but it's not really a big deal because, you know, this is a supercharged car. It doesn't weigh anything, and so doing the math on this with a final drive of well, a 0.63 on the 6th gear is make this thing where even with these size tires do like 212, 213, 214 miles an hour or something like that. So, but not that we're ever going to take it that fast or anything, but you know, it's interesting how it worked out, but it'll be fine. Also decided to do some looking over some things down here, you know, for a nut and bolt check, and you don't have any leaking anywhere that I've seen. You know, ball pan looks nice and clean, you know, just like it was when it was new. Transmission doesn't appear to be leaking or anything. Oh, this is a nice view of the fan, so you can see the big fan and stuff here. So now that we've got it back down, we've got to finish bleeding the system here, and I just had some engine degreaser because there's a lot of nasty stuff, and I'm gonna let this stuff sit on here for like 10-15 minutes, try and clean this bay up a little bit because it's really nasty. So, you know, just getting some more stuff prepped to go to Hoonigan. It's coming up really soon. We got 4th of July coming up, got to be over there mid-July. Had to move the radiator. We had to move the heat exchanger for the new spall fan that we got. We had to, you know, remove the oil cooler and stuff, and so we had to change the oil and everything, as well as bleed the intercooler for the heat exchanger, you know, heat exchanger, intercooler system and whatnot. All right, so we are going to get out of here. Everything's together, but we're gonna get out of here for the night so we can get up early in the morning. It's already starting to get pretty late. So, I don't know, I guess that's gonna be it for now. So if you're a new subscriber, don't forget to click the subscribe button if you wanna see some more information. Like the video if you like the video. Anything you gotta say to these people?
Share on Facebook, and hashtag Hellcat Miata if you're on Facebook. We'll hunt you down and like that post.